All right, y'all. It's getting ready to be crunch time here coming into this Kentucky Derby. I always consider this Louisiana Derby as like the first of the major prep races I like to look at. Not the first 100-pointer. You got a couple foreign races to give 100 points now. 100 points meaning winning, you're in the Kentucky Derby. I don't really count those. UAE Derby. I think there's another one in Japan. At any rate, this is the first one here in the States, the Louisiana Derby. They've made this interesting over the past couple of years. They've moved it out to a mile and 3/16, making it the same length as the Preakness. I think that would make it a little bit more interesting if we're a little bit closer to the Derby. It does give you that a chance to get your horse in there at that longer distance, closer to the 10 furlongs in the Derby, because you're going 9.5 here. Epicenter we saw last year didn't win the Derby, but he did very well in pretty much every race he ran in. He was a winner in this Derby. Jockey was Joel Rosario, who's back aboard Disarm in this one, trying to get 3 in a row, trying to go for a three-peat Rosario here. And the trainer was Stephen Asmussen. Asmussen is back as well. He's got a couple horses in this one. So let's get going. We've got, 12 horses in here, so we don't want to take too long. Number one, we've got, this one is Shopper's Revenge. Yes, Shopper's Revenge. Ricardo Santana Jr. riding him. He's another Stephen Asmussen horse. Asmussen's got a race, wins in this race twice before in the past. Him and Santana teamed up for a couple wins. I think it was in the Haskell, but I never got a win in this race. They got this horse at 12-1. I do kind of want to say with this horse, like with this horse, like with a lot of the horses in this one, they're very closely matched. A lot of slow horses in this race. I know they're not fully grown. They're young 3-year-old colts, but not a lot of speed. Not a lot of speed here. So that does make it a much more competitive race, I would say. So the Shopper's Revenge here. Last out, he ran second in an optional claimer at Oaklawn. Before that, he had a win in a maiden special weight. So not a lot of action for this one. I do expect him to be riding on the front, which I don't think it's going to be a fast pace. I think the pace is going to be probably a 48-second half mile, which will set up for a slow race, slow times. It'll make it tough to judge the winner of this race for going into the Derby and future races. But that's what I think it's going to be. I think he'll probably just be right off the lead, if not have the lead. The Shopper's Revenge here. If you like taking chances with horses that haven't done too much but haven't looked too bad, Shopper's Revenge, he's in there. 12-1, I would probably want a little bit more money. A little bit bigger odds on that one. Number 2, the favorite is Instant Coffee. Honestly, he's the only one that's really run a fast race in his career. He's 7 furlong he ran last year, 122. He has been around. Breeders' Cup Futurity, he was 4th. Got a win in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Won the LeCompte here, which is, I guess you want to say it's one of the bigger prep races coming into this one. Trained by Brad Cox. He's going to be ridden by Luis Saez. Had a chance to get on another horse, but he went with this one. Obvious favorite for a reason. It's coming off a couple of wins. The times, there's 144. I mean, you're doing a mile in 1/16 and 144. That's just not impressive. But a lot of these horses, that's what the type times they're running. So that's what he's got. Will he get a faster time in this one? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to make the pace fast enough for him to have to run any faster. You could say in some standpoint it's his race to lose, simply because of that he's the only one that's really gone below even time ever. But it's Saez. He's good, but I don't think this horse is necessarily that much better than all the rest of them. They got him morning odds at 2-1. I kind of think that's going to go down, though. I kind of think he's probably going to be around 9-5, 8-5, honestly. because he just seems to stand out coming off those wins, and I think the public is going to like him. Third, we got Curly Jack. This horse, 12-1. Edgar Morales, jockey on this one. He's one of the ones I think you could probably leave out. Eighth in the Risen Star. That's nothing to write home about. You got second in the Kentucky Jockey Club. He was also fifth in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. 12 lengths off in that one. He's only 1 length off in the Kentucky Jockey Club behind Instant Coffee. But, I mean, that wasn't that great of a time. So, yeah, you ran well behind a slow time. So, I think you're taking chances with this one, especially with that jockey. I don't have him rated nearly as high. One note, he is a good Magic horse. And good Magic had a lot of fans a couple years back chasing Justify. So maybe you might want to go with him in the good Magic angle. I just don't think this horse is really going to have what it takes for this one. Fourth, we have Sun Thunder. BJ Hernandez. 5-1. Hernandez has actually won this race before. He got a win, what was that, 2017 on Gervin. Kenneth McPeak is the trainer. He also won this race way back. McPeak won 02. Repent. And that was with Jerry Bailey. I mean, arguably the greatest jockey ever. So when you trained a horse that was ridden by Bailey, the thing you could say about the trainer probably is the best thing he did was able to get Bailey to ride the horse. But anyway, McPeak's back here. He hasn't won one since then. He's trying to get another win now. It's got BJ Hernandez. This horse, Sun Thunder, out of Into Mischief. Second in the Risen Star. 151 in that Risen Star at 1.125 miles. Now, he did go the 1.125 miles, so he's gone a little bit closer, done the 9 furlongs, a little bit closer to the 9.5. Once again, not an impressive time. I think he's going to have to do more. Before that, he was fourth in the Southwest Stakes. That was a 1:43, a little bit better of a time. He's fourth, wasn't close. Moving right along. Number 5, Disarm, an interesting horse. I mean, you got to love the breeding on Disarm. His father won the race, Gunrunner. Won the race, and his grandfather was Tappet on his mother's side. So, trainer Asmussen, Stephen Asmussen, he's won this 3 times before, and jockey's Joe Rosario. Got 2 races before coming off the past 2 years, so he's going for 3 straight. The horse leaves a bit to be desired, though. Second place in his last out and optional claimer. That was at Oaklawn. 137. He's 4 lengths off of a 137. Could be better. That's only at a mile, so I mean, I guess it's roughly the same as these other slow times they were doing in a 1/16. Once again, he's got to run a better race. I mean, somebody's going to emerge, though. Somebody's going to emerge. But I think somebody's going to have to just run a better race than they've run so far. Maybe I don't know. I still think the final time's probably going to be 1:44, though. Maybe get it down to a 1:43, because they're going to have to pick up the pace at some point. But another horse that's not going to be running on the pace, going to be running off the pace. Got Rosario. He's going to be ready. It's rarely Rosario doesn't move his horse in time, so he's going to make the horse competitive. And we'll see with these similar ratings that he's got to these other horses whether it will pan out. No, I did kind of like this win he had here at 7 furlongs. 1:24 was the time in that one. Doesn't beat the 1:22 the Instant Coffee put out. But decent time nonetheless. Breaking the maiden. But he's got everything going for him outside of that. He's got the jockey, he's got the trainer, he's got the breeding. Number 6. Another one that you may want to take over the favorite here. Now they got him at 6-1 in these morning odds. It is Kingsbarns, ridden by Flavian Pratt, trained by Todd Pletcher. Now Todd Pletcher's got 4 wins in this race. 4 wins. Todd Pletcher. Here we go. 2007 Circular Key. 2010 Mission Impassable, 2013 Revolutionary, and 2018 Noble Indy. Noble Indy. I always thought he was going to do a bit more. But 4 wins for Pletcher in this one. He's got Flavian Pratt's never won this one before, but the horse at least looks decent. He's coming off of 2 straight wins. Nothing big. Just maiden special weight. And he's got this win here at 1 mile and 40 yards. I hate those weird times. Those weird distances. 140 on that. According to my calculations, that's roughly the same time as these other ones. 2 seconds off the even time, because 1 mile 40 yards should do that around 138 by my calculations, if I'm not mistaken. His win before that was at 139 in a mile in the maiden special weight. So another horse that's got some wins, got some races with lackluster times. You do want to like the fact that he did win these couple of races. So he's shown that he's at least can close well and get wins against lesser competition. This is by far the best competition he's faced, as with most of these horses. Number 7 is let me make sure I say this one right. Calixtro, yes. Calixtro. Interesting name. Christian Torres is riding this one. They got him at 12-1. 1 mile and 1/16 was his last out. Second place, another 144 mile and 1/16 from this horse. Main special weight before that, he did it in 146. I like where this horse is going to be positioned. I think he's going to be stalking what is already a slow pace, so if he moves at the right time, put him in good position to win. Can't really be counting on Christian Torres to do that, though. I mean, he's got a 21% win percentage this year coming into this race. I don't know. I would really like it if Rosario or somebody was on this horse instead. But I do like the way he was positioned, and I mean, I guess you say okay races he's coming into, considering this field that he's going up against. Number 8, Single Ruler. 15-1. David Cohen's riding this one. I really like the breeding. Empire Maker horse. He's out of unbridled, as most of us know. And when you look on his mother's side, you got Stormcat. This horse will be worth a lot of money simply for the breeding aspects. Just being just that one generation removed from, or 2 generations, I guess how you look at it, removed from Stormcat. There's not a lot of Stormcat horses out there left, and Stormcat, for those of you who haven't been around for too long, was one of the top bred horses. I mean, Stormcat was like Tappet for a while. I mean, there's Stormcat horses everywhere. Didn't have the distance. Stormcat horses were more speed and milers. However, they were good to breed together along with horses that were these distance horses. So there's been a lot of Stormcat over the years. So this one's got that similar type breeding that you would look for. Empire Maker, big horse like the Stretch It Out Belmont Stakes winner. And you got Stormcat on the other side, So that would make for some good breeding. I do like this horse probably going into the future, not in this race. Single Ruler, David Cohen. Don't like him. I don't think I've ever cashed a ticket when I bet on him. Don't think I'm going to start in this race. He was, what was that, fifth in the Risen Star? Yes, fifth in the Risen Star. That, once again, slow. 151 was the time in that, a mile and 8. Didn't like that. He had a win before that at Fairgrounds, maiden special weight, in 145, slow again. So I just don't like this horse given the jockey, trained by Keith DeSormo. Hey, Keith DeSormo, I guess he does okay when Kent DeSormo's riding the horse. I don't know. I love the horse's breeding. Haven't seen him run. Maybe he could surprise you if you really were someone that believes that much in breeding, that all you have to do is just breed something and pops out. It's going to be amazing. Most of us know better than that. We know that the breeding only sets up the blueprint. And then that blueprint is not even going to be a standard blueprint based on the breeding. It's randomization inside of that, as we know with all animals and people and everything else. So siblings aren't the same, people aren't the same as their parents and kids and, whatnot. Even identical twins is the closest thing you would have to clones. Still going to be a little bit, so some differences because they're not going to live the identical lives after they're born. So that being said, even though this horse has excellent breeding, I just don't think this is going to be his race. Number 9, 10-1, Tappett's Conquest. Out of Tappett, Manny Franco's riding this one. Brad Cox is training. Brad Cox has got to win in this race too. Brad Cox did a good win in that was with Florent Giraud. Yes, Wells Bayou. Wells Bayou. Horses, I always wonder what would happen to him. Fell off, though. Didn't make it too far. Now, this horse, fourth in the Risen Star. Before they was second by neck, an optional claimer, 145. Once again, not putting up the times. I have him rated as one of the slowest horses in this race. I don't like him. What can I say? 10-1 especially. I mean, I just think those odds are way too low for a horse like this. I'd need 50-1, 60-1 or something before I find a reason to bet on him. Number 10, Dennington. A gun runner horse once again. Gun runner was the winner of this race. As I said, was it 2016? Yes, 2016. Gun runner won this race. So this is a son of Gun runner coming back, trying to do what his father did. 12-1. Junior Alvarado's riding him now. Junior Alvarado snuck in and got the win in the Pegasus. I was never a big Junior Alvarado fan, even though I can't say that I thought he was that bad. I mean, he's just an also kind of. But being that he snuck in there with Art Collector and got that win in the Pegasus, it's definitely going to give him attention. Just put a lot of money in his bank account, that's for sure. And then he can afford you to be a bit more choosy and get better horses and whatnot. So I don't really think that effect has taken over too much in this horse, but you might want to start watching Junior Alvarado in the future. He's going to start getting better horses. That's kind of just the way it works. All you do is win one of these big races and you just moved up to the upper echelon. So I don't expect him to be really any different as far as the horses he's getting. Now, even though this horse is out of Gun Runner, won his last out by a neck, was optional claimer at the Fairgrounds, another 144 time. You might like that in the track and say, yeah, we got this track, he's familiar with it, coming off a win. You might want to go that angle. They got him at 12-1. That's probably going to go up, I'm thinking, just because it's not it's not a sexy name. There's no Pletcher and there's no Rosario or anything with it. So that 12-1 is probably going to go up. Might be worth a play if you want to go against the chalk, and there's lots of reasons to go against the chalk in this one. So you may just want to keep an eye on that one. Has been beaten twice by Instant Coffee, though. 2 losses to Instant Coffee. So you might want to keep that in mind. Number 11, Jace's Roads. Okay, 12-1 they got on this one for the morning odds again. Horses out of Quality Road, half brother makes him half brother to Smarty Jones, or Smarty Jones is actually his uncle. But Florentino is riding this one. Couple of wins for Florentino in this race. The one he got with Wells Bayou and Brad Cox a couple of years ago. Giroux also won. Where was his other win? Oh, how could I forget? Gunrunner. Yes. She had the wheels with the win with Wells Bayou with Brad Cox, and then he had the win with Gunrunner with Asmussen. So he's trying to get his third win, not third in a row as Rosario would be, but he's trying to get his third win in this one. Back with Brad Cox here. This horse last out fifth place, 12 off in the Southwest Stakes. Not impressive. Before that, he got a win in the Gunrunner Stakes, another 144, mile and 1/16. He wired that race, wire to wire. I'm thinking he may be going for that strategy again. He's a homely horse with any decent workout times. 1 minute breezing, couple 48s. So he looks like the speed in the race. He's only gone wire once, but he was successful at that. I think he's probably just going to go back to that in this race. So I expect him to be on the lead. I expect the one to be right behind him. He's gonna have to hope to leave these horses behind. I think. I think he's gonna have to hope that he's gonna be able to get that 48 and be unchallenged. However, I don't really think that's gonna happen. I think he's gonna be pushed just a bit. But because it's a mile and 3/16, I think they're gonna slow it down. After trying to go a bit faster, they'll probably slow it down because they're going to treat it like it's the Belmont and try to walk, but they won't want to go 49. So that's why I have them splitting the difference and ended up back at 48. And then maybe getting into a bit of a duel about who wants to go, who doesn't want to go, who's holding it back, who's going to move too early. All that second guessing that the jockeys tend to do when they're running on the front. They're just going ahead and taking it. Anyway, getting ahead of myself here, getting into the pace handicapping, but that's where I have this one. This Jace's Road horse. Now the last horse, number 12, Baseline Batter. Oh, sorry, Baseline Beater. My handwriting's not too good as usual. 20-1. Corey Lannery riding this one. This one's out of Flatter, who's an AP Indy horse. His mother's father's Tisnow. Decent breeding again, you want to say on this one. Not quite as good as a couple of these other ones in here. Don't think it's going to be enough to get this horse through. He's coming off a win, though. A mile and 1/16 and a 146. It's just breaking his maiden. He had one in 145 before that. The race was at 145, and he lost another maiden. So coming off the maiden with a slow time, I don't like it. He lost at 145. He got it done at 146. I definitely think this race is going to be faster than any 146. Because all these horses have proven that they can do a 144. So I think at least somebody's going to do a 144 at least. So I don't know if this horse really has the speed. I don't know if you like Corey Lannery a lot or whether you just want to go with him because of the breeding or you want to take the odds. Odds are probably going to be big. They got him at 20-1. It's probably going to be much higher than that, maybe 50, maybe 60 on that one, and rightfully so. Now, the pace, as I was saying, Jace's Road, I said, will probably get the lead. I'm thinking Shopper's Revenge will be right in there, and Calixto. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, I expect him to be in there right off of those horses. But like I was saying earlier, nobody's really going to try to go too fast because they're going to think about the distance too much. But then at the same time, I mean, they're not natural front runners anyway. So they're not going to want to go too fast, not going to go too slow. I think they end up right in there at 48. The rest of this pack is going to be riding right behind that. I expect it to bunch up a lot. Probably going to be a lot of traffic. once they start to move, I'm expecting we're going to see the usual suspects on this one. I think we're going to see Instant Coffee break out of there. Some may think it's his race to lose. I think more people are going to put money on him thinking that. I think he will start to make that move. Rosario is going to make some kind of move with Disarm, the 5. You got to have this Flavian Pratt. I mean, he's always a brat in there. So he's going to make some kind of move. Probably, maybe bump into somebody or force somebody into another horse or something like that and blame somebody else. Um, but he's liable to do something when it comes time to make a move. So you can expect some action out of him. He's got the Pletcher horse in there, so he's going to be live. I also think Jace's Road will probably win that battle against Shopper's Revenge in the beginning, and he'll be hanging out there. I think he's going to get past, though. I think they'll second guess the speed too much and just hold the horse back for too long. And I don't think he will make it out. Or be able to hold off the rest of these horses that are going to come storming from behind him. Instant Coffee, like I said, it looks like it could be his race to lose. He's going to definitely make a move for it, but it's something with Saez, and he just doesn't always make the move at the right time, and he's one of those guys. Like I said, he's got to have the best horse, and you could say he's the best horse. This horse isn't clear cut the best horse. So I'm going with Rosario in this one. I'm taking number 5 Disarm for the win. I'm taking Rosario for the three-peat. And Disarm to follow in his father's footsteps and get a win in the Louisiana Derby. I think there's more to see from this horse. I think Instant Coffee probably has more to see from him, as well as the Kingsbarns, number 6. I have the number 6 running third. Flavian Pratt with the Pletcher horse running third. And I think in fourth place I've got Jace's Road, the 11, hanging out there to get fourth. So let me know what you think in the comments section there as we get this rolling. That's 5-2-6-11. Once again, 5-2-6-11. When you got a horse at 10-1, if he goes off around there, obviously I'm probably going to play a win on that one. And then if you have a horse, as I say, when you get below 2-1, between 2-1 and even money, and a horse like the Instant Coffee, those horses very often run first or second. So that's an opportunity to play an exacta if you prefer a straight, or if you like to just box it. That's a good opportunity with an exacta to play that horse with your horse, or just play that horse along with maybe a couple of other horses and try to get that exacta, since he is going to be the favorite. You can also stretch that out, that strategy-wise, to a trifecta or even a super. I'm just kicking around a little strategy here, though, for those of you that are interested in that. But that's how I like it. I like the 5 Disarm to get the win here. As I said, let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will check you guys after the race.